God factor is important for a marriage to be a Christian ambassador. The God factor. I think Pastor T.Y. or somebody was also raising hand. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. In my own opinion, I think getting a hold on the tendency to be selfish positions us as a couple to be able to demonstrate, the God-centeredness that we are talking about. Jesus' relationship with us, it doesn't show selfishness towards us. And we see him command this also in the scriptures, that as Christians, to one another, we must think of the other person first. We must put the other person first. We must be mindful of the other person. So also, if we take it into a relationship between a man and a woman, if the two parties are committed to putting the other person first, I think it eliminates a lot of conflicts and issues. So selfishness, we must control it or lay a hold of it and be more selfless towards one another. We will be proper ambassadors.
Thank you very much. Yes, that we need to kill selfishness. We need to deal with selfishness. And somebody said, marriage is not for people who are still alive. He said, marriage is for people who have died. In the context that Paul died with Christ. So it's only those who have crucified self that can really fulfill the purpose of God in marriage. It's only those who have crucified self that whose marriage can truly be a brand ambassador. Look, the flesh is so tricky. And you really need to take it to the slaughter, kill it. Every time flesh will try to rear his head. But it's something we need to be praying all the time. Now, we said that for your marriage, for my marriage, for our marriages, to be a brand ambassador, we need to recognize one fact. It has two aspects. It has the physical aspect. It has the spiritual aspect. Some people have concentrated on the spiritual alone, and their marriages are suffering. Some others have paid attention to the physical alone. They've neglected the spiritual, and the marriage is not fulfilling the purpose of God. Church can win today that marriage is physical, it has spiritual. And both sides need to you need to pay attention to them. I'm going to ask Sister Jose to speak concerning that spiritual aspect of marriage. The spiritual aspect of marriage. We have a few points listed here.
Okay, praise the Lord. We have 3 points here. That does not mean that is all, but we'll just be touching on these 3 points today. So the first one there is genuine salvation. As we find in John chapter 3 verse 3, genuine salvation. For marriage to be what God expects it to be, and for marriage to sell God, you have to have the two people being genuinely saved. A situation where one is saved and the other is not saved creates conflicts. And a situation where both are not saved, what simply happens is that they are going to run that home the way they see fit. So the first thing there is genuine salvation. Are you truly born again? Is your wife truly born again? Is your husband truly born again? Even if the two of you came into that marriage as unbelievers, it's time to come into Christ, so that the next leg of the journey, the next phase of the journey, will be one in which Christ is there, so that the threefold cord would not be easily broken. The second thing is commit to live by God's words. Matthew chapter 4 verse 4.
Let's read that one. Let's read it.
Matthew chapter 4 verse 4. Commit to Ephesians 5:25 to 30.